Hello everybody, this is the thejonnymar, and welcome to my second monthly Monday Let's Play. And for this Let's Play, I am going to be playing, as you can see, the Simpsons arcade game. So we get a little animated intro here, very similar to what the show's intro used to look around this time. And the game was made very early in the series' lifespan, which is still ongoing, unbelievably. I think the series is in its 23rd or maybe 24th season. I'm not 100% sure. But let's jump right into this game. And I am going to, of course, be playing as my favorite Simpsons character, Bart.
Bart!
That's what I just said. Okay. So there's the premise for our game. Apparently, Smithers, for some reason, was robbing a jewel store. Not quite sure why, since Mr. Burns, of course, is very rich and powerful. But whatever, video game. And apparently, he ran into Homer, causing the diamond he stole to end up in Maggie's mouth. And his course of action in that situation is to kidnap Maggie, of course. But it's up to us. Specifically, it's up to me, Bart, to try to get her back. And you'll see I can pick up objects and throw them. That's pretty cool. Unique to this game compared to, for example, the X-Men arcade game. So this game is actually, in my opinion, a little bit more difficult than the X-Men game, and that's mainly because I don't have a mutant power to sort of spam or cheese or rely on. All I have are regular physical attacks, my jump attack, and we use this to regain some health. And of course, we have weapons we can throw. And amazingly, we're already at the first boss, the wrestler. Now, bosses in this game really suck because they take a lot of damage. And they're designed, again, for multiple players to be playing at one time, up to 4 in this game. And I died already. And basically, because of that, when you play as one player, it's an endurance test. And fortunately, like X-Men, you can play this game with unlimited continues, which I'm doing. Now, unlike X-Men, though, you can change that. This game has a couple different modes. One is called Survival, which I think only gives you... Alright, first level completed. That is not Smithers' voice. Oh, I hate these bonus stages.
Your balloon and go after Maggie. Ready?
Yes, game.
Go!
Is that supposed to be Krusty? Again, not his voice. Come on. Ugh. Oh well. Brick breaking it's not. But similar concept. So stage 2, Krustyland. And the difficulty starts to ratchet up immediately, so we're going to be facing a lot of new enemies. But fortunately, we still have items we can throw at people. It's going to be a while till we face the really, really, really annoying enemies. I'm going to pick up Santa's little helper here. Yeah. But yeah, the bosses in this game stink, and a lot of them are unique, so they're not necessarily from the show. And being a beat 'em up, you know, basically we're going to be facing a lot of palette swaps. Well, thank you, Milhouse. I love this hammer. There's a little foreshadowing. That's a character that comes back later, and we actually have to fight him, but not yet. Let's kill these teacups. I love the hammer. Ah. Ugh. So the main thing I don't look forward to in this game is fighting the bosses, but we'll get through it somehow with my infinite continues. And the other modes that are included is a survival mode, where I think you only get like 1 life and 1 continue. Something really ridiculous. I would never be able to complete the game. And then there's a mode called Quarters Mode, which limits the... Jeez. Look like the bear from the camping episode. Which limits the number of continues you have to like 10. And then there's like a quarters group mode, which limits the number of continues to like 40 for the entire group. Jeez. Projectiles? Well, that's fair. And Binky the Rabbit back there, or Blinky, I think. I forget what it's called. From Matt Groening's Life in Hell comic series. So, like X-Men, Snowball! Alright, already to the second boss. We're making pretty good progress here. That'll change, though. The later levels are much more difficult. Let's see if we can use our jump kick strategy here that works so well in a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. I don't even know what this boss is. Guess an inflatable balloon, but how can it damage us then? But like X-Men, I have a similar history with this game. I used to play it in the arcade or at Showbiz Pizza, now Chuck E. Cheese, with, you know, friends and family, mainly with my cousin. And we actually played it a little bit less than the X-Men game. We played it a couple times to completion, ate up a lot of money. Again, because the enemies tend to be a little bit harder and we don't. Jeez. Hopefully we survive. You're doomed. Game over. Discount Cemetery. Oh, we landed in a tree, so of course we're safe. But we played this game a little bit less than the X-Men game. I think mainly that's because you can only play as a couple characters, obviously as the 4 family members. With X-Men, you got to play as all 6 of the mutants. But this game does have group attacks, which is kind of cool. So you can team up with another player and do combo attacks. Jeez. Toasty! Or kind of similar to Turtles in Time with the My Toes little animation. But my history with The Simpsons is actually pretty long. I've watched the series basically from its inception. When I was very little, my dad and I used to watch the Tracy Ullman Show, for those of you that remember that show. I think it only had a couple seasons. But the real crown jewel of that series was they did animated Simpsons shorts. And it was on pretty late, like 9 o'clock or 9:30. And my dad actually would let me stay up just to watch the show for the Simpsons clips. And we used to always say we would rather that the show was 20 minutes of Simpsons and only 5 minutes of Tracy Ullman skits as opposed to the alternate, which is what it was. So we were both really happy when they actually came out with the show, which was fully Simpsons in 1990 maybe? I'm not sure if that was the first year that they had the Christmas episode that came out. And I watched pretty religiously from then. Until roughly season 10 or so. Ugh, zombies. Kind of weird with them holding their hands up like that above their heads as opposed to out in the... Jeez. The standard... What the... Oh man, get out of there. Oh, he's done for. An elevator level, of course. What beat 'em up is complete without it.
Who the hell are you? Who the hell are you?
Yes, you said that. But I watched the show pretty regularly until about season 10. And then around season 10, I stopped watching every episode. I still caught a lot of them, but I would miss an episode here and there. Ugh. Aww. First continue. Oh well. Like X-Men, if someone wants to keep track of the number of continues I use and let me know, that would be great. Be interested to know that. Although there was some controversy with X-Men. I had a couple different counts, but whatever. What are these? Breakable, apparently. That's cool. Ah, here are those guys that were before.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm beating you, and then I'm advancing. Now, the little one's annoying because he dodges, and they do their little group attack. So you can actually do a similar attack with Bart and Homer. But it actually makes them a little bit easier because you're able to hit them pretty easily. And the hardest one is the little one because, as I mentioned, he does dodge. Ugh. And he packs a punch. What the hell was that? Come on, you can die now. But after season 10, I basically stopped watching regularly. And after season 15, I pretty much stopped watching the show completely. The show became much more seemingly Homer-centric. So Homer became kind of the focus of the show, in my opinion, as opposed to the family or... Oh. I hate the little guy. Come on. And I like Homer, but I don't like him to be the focus of the show. So I haven't really watched since then. But I still do buy all the seasons on DVD. So I have up to season 14 on DVD, and I think season 15 just came out. I don't have it yet, but I'll get it eventually. There we go. What's next? Moes Tavern, huh? Yeah, Princess Cashmere in the background. So I wonder if we'll see some of the Moes Tavern residents in this. Or just these continued palette swaps and repetitive enemies. I wish you could use Bart's Bartman power, actually. He does fly in. There's Mo, and the incorrectly colored Barney from the first couple episodes. But I wish you could use, you know, like the mutant power, that you could use Bart's Bartman power to kind of fly around the screen. He does fly in when you die as Bartman, but otherwise you don't see it. You want to give me something, Mo, to use? No? Okay. We'll give all the enemies weapons to use, but of course I don't get a weapon. Ah, slingshot. Guess I spoke too soon. Bleeding Gums Murphy. He was around for a couple seasons. I thought it was funny. I think James Earl Jones did his voice. And in the episode where he was, spoiler, passed away, Lisa basically went and found a cloud version of him, you know, symbolizing from the afterlife, and they had other versions of characters that he had played, James Earl Jones, so like Mufasa from Lion King, Darth Vader, etc. So that was kind of neat. I don't remember Moe's having a gambling table for roulette. Who the hell is this? Kinda looks like Mo. Sorta. What the? Apparently he can shoot fire. Well, that's fair. You die now. Ugh. And he can spit. If any of you know what these bosses are, like if they're actual characters from the show, a lot of them I don't recognize. And I assume that means they were created just for the game. Oh, another continue. Jeez. Ugh. So much damage. What I wouldn't give for Wolverine's little energy throw is Sonic Boom right now. But I have a feeling later bosses I'm gonna die even more. Now what? Another elevator? Springfield Butte. Jeez. So I'm guessing we can fall off in this level. I think there's like a bridge a little bit later. And it's, you know, starting to really introduce the multi-levels. Had a little bit of that with Moes, but... Ugh. Nice. Fatty. Jeez. But I think this one, yeah, see, we start to have multiple levels. And more than just two, and... Jeez, a frickin'... What is that? It's supposed to symbolize, I think, Sasquatch? Or an ape, I guess, maybe? I think it's supposed to be Homer as Sasquatch. Again, from the camping episode. But since I've stopped watching The Simpsons, I've kind of moved on to other shows. I really like animated shows in general. And so I was watching a little bit of Family Guy when it debuted in the late 90s. Not a huge fan of Family Guy, but I do like to occasionally watch an episode here and there. But I really got into South Park, and South Park is one of my top 2 favorite animated shows. And number 2 is actually the other, and here's that bridge I was talking about. Ugh. So I think if you fall off, you probably instantly die, so let's stay away from that. But I watch the other Matt Groening show that he created. It's called Futurama. And I love that show. It's really great. And what I like about it compared to The Simpsons is it hasn't become so obsessed with celebrities. So the show is about the crew of, you know, the main characters, as opposed to here's a random celebrity guest star this week and let's see what they do with the family kind of interaction. Wow. Sideshow Bob, why are you helping me? Well, whatever. I'll take the help. So I was really sad when Futurama was canceled, but really excited when it came back. Jeez! I have to fight the bear? Ugh. And apparently Donkey Kong is throwing rocks down at us. I think the rocks can actually hit the bear and damage it too. Dodge. Yeah, they can. Awesome. Let's see if I can get him in to the path of some of these rocks. Jeez. And Futurama is actually one of the few animated shows that my wife will watch too. She likes that one a lot. She won't watch South Park. She thinks the animation is too primitive. And I say, well, basically you have to look past the animation, but whatever. And the other animated show that we watch together is Bob's Burgers. I don't know if any of you have watched that at all. Comes after The Simpsons on Sundays. It's a pretty cool show.
Who the hell are you?
I like how they show all of these animal characters that they're actually people. Either in costumes or... Oh, that's nice. Well, if we didn't die before, this will probably kill us. What do you think, viewers? Yep, we're dead. Fading into the afterlife. Or Dreamland, apparently. Any of you played Bart's Nightmare? An SNES game, I think? I played it, I rented it. It was, not very good, in my opinion. It was okay. Well, that's nice. Oh, I have to jump kick these guys. Ugh. Die. There's another continue. But the guy who plays the voice of Bob from Bob's Burgers also plays the voice of Archer. And that's another animated show that I watch on FX. That's about a higgy, okay. It's about a spy who is supposed to be very suave and debonair and very good, but he's kind of not that good at being a spy. He's better than Maxwell Smart, but he definitely is not in the James Bond mold, although he likes to think that he is. Little devil Barts, huh? So those are the main cartoons, animated shows that I still watch to this day. And let me know what you guys do. So which shows do you watch? And what's your history with The Simpsons? Either this game or the show. You still watch it? Have you watched it at all? Do you have a favorite episode? What the hell? Okay, it's a bowling ball. And I'm just gonna wail away on it. Okay. Well, this is going well so far. Are you dead? No, you get hands apparently. How does that work? Jeez. I'm not sure I have a favorite episode. I used to say the episode where Bart and a couple of his friends, Milhouse and Martin, went together to buy the Radioactive Man comic was my favorite. That's a really old episode. I like the Frank Grimes episode. That one's pretty good. Thought he was a really cool character. Kind of a great illustration of what Homer gets away with in his life that's just really unrealistic. Stuck in a pattern. Die. And of course, the Simpsons movie, which was pretty cool. I thought they did a really good job with that. Are you dead? Jeez. Well, that's nice. It hurt me while I was dying. Great. Uh-oh. Don't go towards the light, Bart. Another bonus stage.
Hey, wake up and find Maggie.
Okay. Let's see if we can win this one. Slap Bart. Come on, slap him. Wake up, Bart. Sweet. Channel 6. Okay, this is my least favorite level. This one gets pretty hard. We're going to see a lot of really difficult enemies here, especially the ninjas that are coming up. Now, I have a unhealthy, perhaps, knowledge of the first, 6 seasons of The Simpsons. And that's because my cousin and I, when we were younger, we would have summers off from school, you know, we'd get together and play video games or play board games, card games, etc. And what we would do is I would tape the episodes of The Simpsons on VHS tapes, for those of you that know what those are. And basically whatever we were doing, we would have the Simpson tapes going in the background on kind of a constant loop. So we got really good at knowing the first 6 seasons of the show. To such a point that... What the hell is this? Okay, apparently I can't hit the alien. But this robot. Ow. Unless we get mini-bosses for some reason, because it's not hard enough with the bosses. We have to fight mini-bosses. But my knowledge got to such a point where I could actually tell you the main point of any episode within the first 6 seasons just by watching the first 5 seconds of any episode. Ugh. So yeah, that's pretty crazy in my opinion, but what can I say? Whoa. We watched it a lot. Room. And I did not need that life. It is nice that it's continuing the tradition in these arcade games of just picking food up off the ground and eating it and that being a good thing. It's not quite pizza slices like in the Turtles games, but at least it's on a plate, I guess. Here are the ninjas. They dodge and then they throw throwing stars at you. They're a real pain. Apparently can teleport somehow. Not sure how that works. They don't look like Nightcrawler to me. I do like when you hit them, they hold their groin, insinuating that Bart's kind of hitting below the belt, being a little dirty. Of course, they're being dirty by throwing frickin' throwing stars at me. Well, thanks for bowing. That makes it so much better. This reminds me of Turtles also. From the level where the tigers would come flying out of the background. Jeez. They get nunchucks too? Well, that's fair. I should stop saying that because obviously this game is not fair. I suppose I'm not being fair using infinite continues, but I'm the player. It's supposed to be curved towards me. So, like the actual arcade game, I have not played this as much as the X-Men game, so there's a lot of trophies I haven't gotten yet. And I'm trying to get the beat it in under 30 minutes and also get 250 points, but I don't think I'm going to get it. Because I think I'm already getting close to 30 minutes and we still have this level to finish and then the last couple bosses, which are a real beast. Okay, what's this? Huh. It's a samurai-looking guy. Kind of looks like Mr. Burns. And he gets a massive blade. That's nice. Oh, and he gets ninja helpers. Wonderful. So let's go back to the jump kick strategy. Ugh. And I was actually still collecting comic books around the time that the Simpsons comics started, so I have the first 15 or so issues of the Simpsons comic, and then I have the initial, like, 4 issues or whatever of Bartman. I have a lot of the Radioactive Man special issues. And then Itchy and Scratchy Land 2, I think, was a comic. And then a Lisa comic, actually. But stopped collecting those shortly after they began. Because that's roughly when I got out of comics in general. Alright. Come on, buddy, die. I've only ever actually played as Bart. So I don't know what other family members are like. I know Lisa has a jump rope, I think. Homer just uses his fists, and I think Marge has a vacuum. Alright, well, let's chase this caped Smithers. And I'm not sure I would jump onto the bottom of a helicopter. It's showing a lot of upper body strength by Bart. Especially flying that high. Alright, last level. Nuclear power plant. And fortunately, we don't actually have to do a level. We just have to fight the boss. And that boss is, of course, the man we've been chasing this whole game, Smithers.
Welcome to my world.
In his horribly mismatched voice. So he throws bombs, and actually there's a couple of them you can pick up and throw back at him. They're different colored. I think they're like blue. There's one. And then he sweeps his cape at you and hits you like that. Not sure where he's getting this infinite supply of bombs. Jeez.
Man.
You're pretty mean, Waylon. He's a very docile character in the show, so again, this is very out of character. Not just his voice. Not sure I've ever seen him with that expression on his face in the actual series. It's not how someone runs. Jeez. Ugh. I'm a little sad that they took Turtles in Time off of PSN. I know originally it was on there and you could actually download it, but I think a couple of years ago they actually took it off, and I hadn't purchased it before they did. And that is my favorite Turtles game. Played that one a lot too. So hopefully at some point they bring it back. I don't know if they ever will. Okay. Alright. I think that's it. Alright, game over. Sweet. So give us back Maggie. What the?
Welcome to your grave, sucker.
Well, that's a little better than welcome to die. So of course we have to fight Mr. Burns. Excellent. And he shoots atomic bombs. And somehow that does not destroy all of us, but whatever. I've never been able, I think you can pick those up, but I've never actually been able to. And this boss has multiple forms. So, just when you think you're doing well, he switches out and starts doing other stuff. So here's form 2. Tread. Excellent. And as you damage him and parts fall off his little machine there, you get closer and closer to seeing him inside the machine. Alright. Next form. Little hydrofoil. And now the arms aren't good enough. He has to shoot little grabbers out of the front of it. And laugh incessantly. Jeez. Well, Bart's pretty tough. He can survive an atomic bomb. Okay. Progressive damage. That's pretty cool. Starting to see some cracks in his armor. Although instead of cracks, I would just prefer he die. That would be nice. Now lasers. Okay, I think this is his last form. Environments are pretty cool in this game. Very similar to the actual series, so you have all the monitors that he watches. And I think there's actually stuff going across the monitors there. You can see kind of. Oh, I completely missed. Awesome. I was playing this originally with my wife when it first came out, but she got kind of disoriented by all the flashing, and the game's kind of really bright. And I can kind of see that. It is hard to play compared to the X-Men game. It's much more of that animated style. You know, the drawn kind of cartoon as opposed to the more cel-shaded of the X-Men game. Ugh. Just when you think he's dead. Come on, die! Is that it? Nice. I think you have to actually hit him. Yep. Well, there we go. Maggie's back. What are you doing? Aww. And then the X eyes. He is dead. And that is the game, folks. Apparently we get to keep the jewel. So no more middle class for us. And that is a look at the Simpsons arcade game. Pretty fun. Beatable in about a half hour. Definitely fun if you can play it with multiple people. Kind of tough to do as a single player, as you might have seen in this Let's Play. But I had a good time with it, and I hope you had a good time watching it. If any of you are on PSN and have this game and would like to play co-op, just let me know, and we can try to work something out. Otherwise, that's my second monthly Monday Let's Play. Hope you enjoyed. As always, thanks for watching, viewers, and I will see you all in my next episode. Take care.